Hello there, Buttercups! This video is a compilation of our previously released videos about Friday the 13th and the many superstitions surrounding it. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, sit back and enjoy. Just make sure you are not sitting under a ladder. The number 12 resonates with completeness. 12 months in a year, 12 zodiac signs, 12 gods of Olympus, 12 labors of Hercules, 12 apostles of Christ. 12 is a number that signifies order and structure, a universe neatly defined and understood. But 13 disrupts this harmony, a discordant note in a perfect melody. It whispers of chaos, of the unknown lurking beyond the familiar. It is a number that unsettles, that brings with it a sense of unease and foreboding. In Western cultures, the number 13 casts a long, unsettling shadow. It is a number that has been shrouded in fear and superstition for centuries. Hotels omit the 13th floor, a practice that has become almost universal in the hospitality industry. Even in language, baker's dozen exist to circumvent the ill-omened 13. The fear of the number 13 is so ingrained that many buildings simply skip from the 12th to the 14th floor. Airlines skip the 13th row, a decision made to ease the minds of superstitious passengers. As mentioned before, the baker's dozen exists to circumvent the ill-omened 13. This term, originating from medieval times, allowed bakers to avoid the unlucky number by adding an extra item, making it 14. Going even further back in history, the ancient Code of Hammurabi reportedly omitted a 13th law from its list of legal rules. However, this omission was probably a clerical error. This fear, known as Triskaidekaphobia, speaks to a primal dread, an inherent unease with what lies beyond the comforting embrace of 12. But why this aversion to 13? What is it about this number that evokes such fear and superstition? Why this aversion to 13? Some point to the lunar calendar with its 13 lunar cycles in a year, a reminder of the moon's association with the feminine, the mystical and the untamed. The moon, with its ever-changing phases, has long been a symbol of mystery and the unknown. Others trace it back to Norse mythology, where Loki, the god of mischief, disrupts a banquet of 12 gods, bringing about chaos and death. This story, passed down through generations, has cemented the number 13 as a harbinger of bad luck and misfortune. Whatever the root, the number 13 carries a weight, a sense of foreboding that has seeped into the very fabric of our collective consciousness. It is a number that continues to evoke fear and superstition, a reminder of the unknown and the unpredictable. Friday the 13th, a date that combines the unlucky number with the traditionally unlucky day, has become synonymous with bad luck and misfortune. It is a day that many people approach with caution, avoiding important decisions and activities. Despite our modern rational world, the fear of 13 persists. People still cross their fingers, knock on wood, and avoid the number whenever possible. It is a testament to the enduring power of superstition and the deep-seated fear of the unknown. In the end, the number 13 remains a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that not everything in life can be neatly ordered and understood. It is a number that challenges our desire for control and certainty, a reminder of the chaos that lies just beyond the edge of our understanding. Friday, October 13th, 1307. A day that would forever alter the course of history. Dawn broke cold and unforgiving over France. The air was thick with an ominous tension, as if the very heavens were aware of the treachery about to unfold. King Philip IV, driven by envy and greed, unleashed a secret order arrest all Knights Templar. His motives were clear: to seize their immense wealth and eliminate a powerful rival. Accusations of heresy, blasphemy, and immorality rained down on this once revered order. These charges were not just baseless. They were a calculated move to justify the king's actions. The Templars, warriors of God, protectors of the Holy Grail, found themselves stripped of their power, their wealth seized, their name tarnished. Their castles and commanderies were confiscated, their treasures looted. Hundreds were imprisoned, tortured into confessing to fabricated crimes. The methods of torture were brutal, designed to break both body and spirit. Many confessed to avoid further agony, though their confessions were lies. Leaders, including the Grand Master Jacques de Molay, were burned at the stake, their dying breaths rumoured to have cursed the king and the Pope, foretelling their deaths within the year. De Molay's final words were a testament to his unbroken spirit, and a dire warning to his persecutors. True to the curse, both Pope Clement V and Philip IV died within months. Their sudden and unexpected deaths were seen by many as divine retribution for their betrayal. This gruesome event, forever etched in history, cemented the unholy union of Friday and the number 13. The fall of the Templars became a symbol of the dangers of unchecked power and the fragility of even the mightiest institutions. Was it divine retribution, a self-fulfilling prophecy, or merely a coincidence? The questions linger, adding to the mystique and legend surrounding the Templars' tragic end. Whatever the answer, the legend of the Templars' demise cast a pall over Friday the 13th, transforming it into a day synonymous with misfortune. This day, once ordinary, now carries the weight of centuries of fear and superstition, a testament to the enduring power of the Templars' story. Over centuries, the fear of Friday the 13th has woven itself into the intricate tapestry of human superstition. Like threads of a dark and ancient magic, these beliefs persist, passed down through generations, whispered in hushed tones. Some say it is bad luck to start a journey on Friday the 13th, the road ahead fraught with unseen dangers and hidden perils. Others warn against cutting hair or nails, lest you tempt fate and invite misfortune into your life. Even the seemingly innocuous act of opening an umbrella indoors takes on a sinister air on this day. These superstitions, though often dismissed as mere old wives' tales, hold a strange power over us. They tap into our deepest fears, our anxieties about the unknown and the unseen. Whether we consciously believe them or not, they linger in the back of our minds, casting a shadow of doubt, a whisper of unease on this most unlucky of days. The chilling allure of Friday the 13th extends far beyond whispered superstitions. It has become a cultural phenomenon, a date that sends shivers down the spine of many, regardless of their belief in its ominous nature. It has seeped into our collective consciousness, finding a home in the shadowy realm of popular culture. The date is more than just a superstition. It is a symbol, a harbinger of dread that has been immortalized in various forms of media. From literature to film, music to video games, the date has become a canvas for exploring our deepest fears. Writers and creators have long been fascinated by the dark allure of Friday the 13th, using it as a backdrop for tales of terror and suspense. Perhaps the most iconic embodiment of Friday the 13th is the masked figure of Jason Voorhees. This character has become synonymous with the date, a symbol of relentless terror that has captivated audiences for decades. This silent, unstoppable force of nature, born from the depths of Camp Crystal Lake, has terrorized generations of moviegoers. Jason's story is one of vengeance and horror, a tale that has been retold and reimagined countless times. With each subsequent sequel, the legend of Jason grows, solidifying Friday the 13th as a date synonymous with horror and suspense. The franchise has expanded beyond films, influencing other media and becoming a staple in the horror genre. But Jason is not alone. The influence of Friday the 13th extends to a myriad of other characters and stories that draw from its eerie reputation. Countless other films, novels, and television shows have drawn inspiration from the date's ominous reputation. These works often explore themes of bad luck, fate, and the supernatural, weaving intricate tales that keep audiences on the edge of their seats. These stories, often steeped in slasher tropes and supernatural elements, tap into our primal fears, reminding us that even in a world saturated with technology and reason, there are still corners where darkness reigns. The enduring appeal of Friday the 13th in popular culture lies in its ability to evoke a sense of unease and curiosity, a reminder that some mysteries are best left unexplored. In conclusion, Friday the 13th has a rich history filled with fear, superstition, and cultural significance. From its origins in ancient numerology to its association with the fall of the Knights Templar, this day has evolved into a symbol of bad luck and mystery. Whether you believe in its ominous power or see it as just another day, the stories and superstitions surrounding Friday the 13th continue to captivate and intrigue us. As we have journeyed through the shadows of history and the annals of popular culture, we find that the allure of Friday the 13th is more than just a date on the calendar. It is a testament to the enduring power of myths and legends, a reminder that even in our modern world, the echoes of ancient fears and superstitions still resonate. So the next time you find yourself facing a Friday the 13th, remember the tales of old, the stories of horror and suspense, and the cultural significance that has been woven into the fabric of this enigmatic day. Whether you choose to embrace the mystery or dismiss it as mere coincidence, one thing is certain: Friday the 13th will continue to hold a unique place in our collective imagination. Thank you for watching, and may your next Friday the 13th be filled with good fortune and perhaps a touch of mystery. Hey guys, guess what? Friday the 13th is creeping up on us. You know me, I am all about positive vibes, but there is something thrilling about superstitions, right? So to celebrate, let's dive into the wacky world of superstitions. We are going on a global adventure to uncover the origins of 13 common superstitions. Some might make you laugh, some might make you think, and some might even make you want to knock on wood. Let's get superstitious! Okay, first up we've got the classic walking under a ladder. This superstition dates back to ancient Egypt. They believed that a ladder leaning against a wall formed a sacred triangle, representing the trinity of their gods. Walking under it was a major no-no. In medieval times, people thought that walking under a ladder disrupted the flow of energy, unleashing bad juju. Also, it is common sense to avoid walking under an open ladder for fear of something falling on you. So next time you encounter a ladder, maybe take the long way around, just to be safe. Or, you know, do a little dance to ward off the evil spirits. Have you ever experienced that sudden, uncontrollable urge to scratch your palm? According to superstition, an itchy palm could mean one thing: money. An itchy right palm means money is coming your way, while an itchy left palm means you might have to shell some out. The origins of this belief are a little murky, but some say it dates back to ancient Rome. The Romans believed that the left hand was associated with receiving, while the right hand was associated with giving. Another theory links it to the medieval practice of palmistry, where the lines on your hand were believed to reveal your future. An itchy palm could indicate a change in fortune, particularly related to finances. So the next time your palm starts tingling, do not ignore it. It might be the universe sending you a sign. We have all heard the saying, "Break a mirror, 7 years of bad luck." But where did this belief come from? The ancient Greeks believed that mirrors were reflections of the soul. So if you broke a mirror, you were essentially shattering a piece of your soul. The Romans adopted this belief and added their own twist. They believed that it took 7 years for a soul to regenerate, hence the 7 years of bad luck. But hey, there is a silver lining. Legend has it that you can reverse the curse by immediately throwing salt over your left shoulder, spinning around 3 times counterclockwise, or touching a piece of wood. Just in case, I would do all 3. Talk about adding insult to injury, right? Have you ever stumbled upon a horseshoe and felt a surge of good fortune? Horseshoes have been considered lucky charms for centuries. One popular theory links horseshoes to the legend of Saint Dunstan, a 10th century blacksmith who allegedly tricked the devil by nailing a horseshoe to his hoof. The devil, in agony, begged Dunstan to remove the shoe, promising never to enter a place adorned with a horseshoe above the door. Another belief stems from the fact that horseshoes were traditionally made of iron, a material believed to ward off evil spirits in many cultures. So next time you see a horseshoe, pick it up and make a wish. You never know, it might just come true. Here is a superstition that might make you think twice before you pop open that umbrella indoors. One theory suggests that it stems from ancient Egypt, where umbrellas were used for shade and protection from the sun. Opening one indoors was seen as an insult to the sun god Ra. Another explanation comes from Victorian England, where umbrellas were clunky and prone to causing accidents in cramped quarters. Whatever the reason, it is probably best to save your umbrella for the great outdoors unless you want to tempt fate. Knock, 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 knock on wood. We have all heard it, and many of us have probably said it, especially when we are talking about something we do not want to jinx. The origins of knocking on wood are a bit of a mystery, but there are several theories that attempt to explain this widespread superstition. One popular theory links it to ancient pagan beliefs, where trees were considered sacred dwellings of spirits or gods. Knocking on wood was a way of showing respect to these spirits and asking for their protection. Whatever its origins, knocking on wood has become a universal gesture of hope and a way to ward off bad luck. Spilling salt is considered bad luck in many cultures, but did you know that there is a way to counteract the curse? Tossing a pinch of spilled salt over your left shoulder is believed to ward off the evil spirits that are attracted to the spilled salt. This superstition dates back to ancient times, when salt was a valuable commodity. Spilling salt was considered wasteful and disrespectful to the gods. So tossing salt over your left shoulder was a way of throwing it in the face of evil and protecting yourself from harm. So next time you have a salt-related mishap, remember to grab a pinch and give it a toss over your left shoulder. Black cats have long been associated with Halloween and all things spooky, but their reputation as harbingers of bad luck is a bit of a bum rap. In many cultures, black cats are actually considered symbols of good luck and prosperity. In ancient Egypt, for example, cats were revered as sacred animals, and black cats were especially prized. In medieval Europe, black cats became associated with witches and witchcraft. People believed that black cats were witches' familiars, or even witches in disguise. But let's be real, black cats are just as loving and cuddly as any other cat. If you are a hopeless romantic, you have probably heard of the tradition of writing love letters to Juliet Capulet, the tragic heroine of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Every year, thousands of letters from all over the world pour into Verona, Italy, addressed to Juliet, Verona. These letters are filled with hopes, dreams, and pleas for advice on matters of the heart. Juliet, with her balcony scene and her passionate declarations of love, has become an icon of romantic love and a confidant for those seeking guidance in matters of the heart. The tradition of writing to Juliet is believed to have started in the early 20th century, when tourists began leaving notes at Juliet's supposed tomb in Verona. Step on a crack, break your mama's back. This childhood rhyme has probably made us all a little more cautious about where we step. The origins of this superstition are unclear, but it is thought to have originated in the United States in the late 19th or early 20th century. One theory suggests that it was a way for mothers to keep their children from getting their shoes muddy or stepping in something unpleasant in the days before paved sidewalks. Whatever its origins, this superstition has persisted through generations, becoming a playful reminder of the power of superstition. The evil eye is a superstition that has been around for centuries, spanning across cultures and continents. Within ancient Mediterranean and Middle East cultures, there is a belief that to achieve too much success would be to invite the anger or inspire the envy of the gods, who would then smite the unfortunate individual with a reversal of fortune. There is also the belief that someone can inflict harm, misfortune, or even death with a single envious or malevolent glare. To ward off the evil eye, people in many cultures wear amulets or talismans, such as the Nazar amulet, a blue and white eye-shaped charm believed to deflect the negative energy of the evil eye. Crossing your fingers is a universal gesture of hope and good luck, but it is also a way to ward off bad luck or to excuse a white lie. One theory suggests that it dates back to early Christianity, where the crossed fingers represented the cross and were used as a symbol of protection. Whatever its origins, crossing your fingers has become a widely recognized gesture of hope, good luck, and a little bit of superstitious insurance. And finally, we have reached the day that inspired this whole video, Friday the 13th. This date has become synonymous with bad luck, but where did this superstition come from? The fear of Friday the 13th is called Triskaidekaphobia. Try saying that 5 times fast. And it is a real thing. Some say it stems from the biblical Last Supper, where there were 13 guests, Jesus and his 12 disciples, and the crucifixion of Jesus took place on a Friday. Some say it stems from King Philip IV of France having the Knights Templar arrested on Friday the 13th, October 1307. Whatever the reason, Friday the 13th has become a day when people are extra cautious, avoiding ladders, black cats, and pretty much anything else that could be considered unlucky. And there you have it, folks. 13 superstitions and their origins. Who knew that so many of our everyday beliefs could be traced back to ancient times and beyond? Whether you believe in them or not, Superstitions can be a fun and fascinating way to connect with cultures around the world. So, the next time you break a mirror or see a black cat cross your path, don't panic. Just remember the history and the stories behind these superstitions, and maybe have a little laugh. After all, laughter is the best medicine, right? Okay, I'm gonna go knock on some wood now. See ya! Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into the eerie world of Friday the 13th. Is it really as unlucky as people say? Let's find out with 13 freaky events that happened on Friday the 13th. We are talking about real-life events that happened on Friday the 13th that are so freaky, they will make you want to sleep with all the lights on. But first a warning, this video is not for those who are faint-hearted, especially those who are Triskaidekaphobics. In other words, those of you who fear Friday the 13th. This date, of course, is associated with bad luck and superstition. Frigg was a Norse goddess who originally lent her name to the word that became Friday. And Triskaidekaphobia is the fear of the number 13. So buckle up, buttercups, because today we are talking about 13 freaky events that happened on Friday the 13th. Our journey starts back in the Middle Ages. Friday, October 13th, 1307. There was a military and society order called the Knights Templar. They were rich, powerful, and knew all the secrets. But their luck ran out when King Philip IV of France ordered their arrest. Accused of heresy, many were tortured and burned. This day became the origin of our Friday the 13th superstition. Can you blame people for being spooked after that? Fast forward to Friday, January 13th, 1939. Black Friday in Australia. We are talking about wildfires, not the cozy campfire kind. These fires ripped through Victoria, fueled by scorching temperatures, drought, and strong winds. The fires raged for weeks, burning over 4.5 million acres of land. They destroyed countless homes and claimed the lives of 71 people. The Black Friday fires were a stark reminder of the raw, untamed power of nature. Definitely not your average Friday the 13th barbecue. Let's rewind to Friday, November 13th, 1829, for a story about Sam Patch, a daredevil. Sam was famous for jumping off high things like bridges and waterfalls. He even survived a 100-foot plunge into the Niagara River. But on this Friday the 13th, Sam decided to jump into the Genesee Falls in Rochester, New York. The falls were over 100 feet high with treacherous currents. Sam took the plunge, and that was the last anyone saw of him alive. His body was found months later, frozen in the river. Let's jump to Friday, September 13th, 1940, during World War II. On this fateful Friday, Buckingham Palace was bombed by the German Air Force. 3 bombs hit the iconic building, sending debris and dust flying everywhere. King George VI and Queen Elizabeth were in residence but miraculously escaped unharmed. 5 people were killed, and the palace suffered significant damage. Additional bombings would follow, but the palace survived the war. Even in the heart of London, danger lurked around every corner, especially on Friday the 13th. It's Friday, July 13th, 1951, and the American Midwest is in deep trouble. Weeks of relentless rainfall had transformed the Missouri River into a raging torrent. The floodwaters engulfed entire towns, turning streets into rivers. The Kansas flood of 1951 was one of the most devastating floods in American history. It caused over $1 billion in damages. Over 500,000 people were forced to evacuate their homes. Tragically, 28 people lost their lives. Mother Nature doesn't mess around, especially on a Friday the 13th. It is Friday, June 13th, 1952, and tensions between the US and the Soviet Union are high. A Swedish military transport plane on a routine mission over the Baltic Sea was shot down by Soviet MiG-15 fighter jets. The plane was carrying American and British intelligence officers on a top-secret mission. At first, the Soviet Union declared it had no involvement in shooting down the plane. The incident sparked a major international controversy. It further escalated tensions between the East and West. Both Sweden's and the Soviet Union's stories eventually fell apart. Almost 40 years after the so-called Catalina affair, Swedish officials admitted that the plane was a spy plane. Likewise, in 1991, the Soviet Union admitted to shooting the plane down. talk about a Friday the 13th with global consequences. Friday, March 13th, 1964, started like any other day in New York City. But for 28-year-old Kitty Genovese, this Friday would be her last. She was brutally attacked outside her apartment building in Queens. Despite her desperate pleas for help, none of her neighbors intervened. 38 people witnessed the attack, yet not a single person called the police until it was too late. The Kitty Genovese murder exposed a dark side of human nature, the bystander effect. It sent shockwaves through the nation. On Friday, November 13th, 1970, a monstrous tropical cyclone slammed into East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. The Bhola cyclone brought a storm surge over 20 feet high. Homes were reduced to rubble, crops were destroyed, and entire communities were wiped off the map. The Bhola cyclone is considered one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. Estimates of the death toll vary, but it claimed at least 300,000 lives. It was a stark reminder of the awesome power of nature, especially on a Friday the 13th. The date: Friday, October 13th, 1972. A chartered flight carrying the Uruguayan Old Christians Club rugby team to Chile crashed into the Andes Mountains. The impact was catastrophic, killing many passengers instantly. Those who survived faced freezing temperatures and dwindling supplies. In order to survive, the survivors had to eventually resort to cannibalism. Like I said, this video is not for those faint of heart. Their story, later chronicled in the book and film Alive, is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, but it is also a chilling reminder of the capricious nature of fate, especially on a Friday the 13th. On the same day, halfway across the world, another aviation tragedy unfolded. An Ilyushin 62 passenger jet crashed near Moscow on Friday, October 13, 1972. The flight had been routine until the last few minutes. The pilots, struggling to regain control, initiated a desperate emergency descent. The plane slammed into the ground with bone-jarring force. There were no survivors. The exact cause of the accident still remains a mystery. On Friday, September 13, 1996, the world of hip-hop was rocked by the tragic death of Tupac Shakur. Tupac had been leaving a Mike Tyson fight in Las Vegas when a white Cadillac pulled up alongside his car. Gunfire erupted, riddling Tupac's BMW with bullets. The rapper was hit multiple times and rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Despite the best efforts of doctors, Tupac succumbed to his injuries 6 days later. His death sent shockwaves through the music industry and beyond. The murder of Tupac Shakur still remains unsolved. On Friday, October 13, 2006, Mother Nature unleashed a freakishly early winter storm on Buffalo, New York. A full-blown blizzard dumped over 2 feet of snow in less than 24 hours. Schools and businesses were closed, transforming the city into a giant snow globe. Trees snapped, power lines toppled, and roofs collapsed. A stark reminder that Mother Nature can still pack a punch. Our final tragic tale takes us to the coast of Italy, where on January 13, 2012, the luxury cruise ship Costa Concordia met a tragic end. It struck a reef near the island of Giglio. The impact caused the ship to list severely, sending terrified passengers scrambling for lifeboats. Initially, the investigators were wondering, why was the luxury cruise ship sailing so close to the shore in the first place? Turns out the married ship captain, Captain Francesco Schettino, had sailed it so close to the island to impress a much younger Moldovan dancer with whom he was having an affair. To make matters worse, he abandoned the ship instead of directing the evacuation. The sinking of the Costa Concordia claimed 33 lives. The incident made headlines worldwide. So, there you have it, 13 freaky events that all happened on Friday the 13th. Coincidence? Maybe. Evidence that the universe has a dark sense of humor? Possibly. I don't know about you, but after hearing all these freaky tales occurring on Friday the 13th, I have become a frigga Triskaidekaphobic. What do you guys and gals think? Is Friday the 13th just a silly superstition, or is there something more sinister at play? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, stay safe out there, especially on Friday the 13th.
Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like to know and hear your feedback. And if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get early access to our videos and where we post bonus material. Till next time, this is Geeky Tidbits saying cheers and have a good day.